Hello everyone and welcome to Nimisha Audiobooks. Shreemad Bhagwad Geeta, Chapter 4, Gyan Yoga, the Yoga of Knowledge. Bhagwan Shri Krishna said, I disclose this imperishable knowledge of yoga unto Vivasvan, the sun god. He then taught it to Vaivasvata, Manu, who then instructed the same knowledge to Ikshvaku. In this way, O conqueror of the enemy Arjun, the pious rulers understood this path of knowledge through the disciplic succession. However, this knowledge of yoga has been lost due to the of time. I am again teaching this ancient science of yoga to you because you are my dear friend and devotee. You can understand the transcendent mystery of which I speak. Arjun says, you were born only recently and the sun god appeared long ago. So how am I to understand that in ancient times you had taught him the science of yoga? Bhagwan Shri Krishna said, O conqueror of the enemy Arjun, both you and I have passed through many births. I know all of them, but you do not. Though I am unborn and my form is imperishable, and though I am the controller of all things, I still remain in control of my material energy and manifest through my own potency. O descendant of Bharat Arjun, whenever there is a decline in dharma and rise of adharma, I personally appear to protect the pious living beings and to put an end to malevolence. I appear in every age to establish dharma. One who understands my divine appearance and activities never takes birth again after giving up this material body. He comes to me, O Arjun, freed from mundane attachment, fear and anger, and absorbed in thinking of me. Many people have taken refuge in me and became purified by the knowledge of austerity and attained love for me. In whatever way people surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. O Parth, all men follow my path. In this world, those that desire material success worship the demigods, since in human society, success from such activities is quick to manifest. I have created the 4 social divisions that are determined by the influence of the modes of material nature and their parallel activities. Although I have created this arrangement, know that in reality, I am the non-doer and that I am unchangeable. There is no activity that affects me. Neither do I desire the result of material activities. One who understands this is never bound by karma. Knowing this, in ancient times, those that desired liberation also performed action. Thus, you should also adopt the path of action as they did in the past. What is action? What is inaction? This subject bewilders even wise men. Therefore, I shall explain to you what is action, knowing which you will become liberated and attain all auspiciousness. One should understand what is prescribed action, what is forbidden action, and what is renunciation of action. The path of action is most difficult to comprehend. One who can see inaction in action and action within inaction is certainly wise amongst men. Indeed, he is a yogi and a performer of all actions. One whose every action is free from selfish desires and who burns all his actions in the fire of knowledge is described by the learned as a wise man. A person who has rejected the desire to enjoy the results of his actions, who does not depend upon others and who is always content, even while engaged in action, does nothing at all. Having no desires, controlling the mind and body, having no sense of possessiveness, such a person does not incur any wrongdoing, although they may perform action in order to maintain the body. One who is content with those things that come of their own accord, who is beyond duality, devoid of enviousness, and equal in success and failure, such a person is not bound by karma, although he may perform actions. All karma is completely dissolved for one who is detached, liberated, situated in knowledge and performs actions only in sacrifice. The utensils used for sacrifice are the absolute. The sacred fire is the absolute, and the offerings made is the absolute. One whose consciousness is always absorbed in thoughts of the absolute attains the absolute. Some yogis perform sacrifices of the demigods. Others offer themselves into the fire of the absolute. Some offer the senses of hearing, seeing, touching, smelling, and tasting into the fire of self-control. Others offer the sense objects, sound, form, taste, touch, and smell into the fire of the senses. Some offer all the functions of the senses and the functions of the life airs into the fire of self-purification, which is ignited by knowledge. Some yogis sacrifice their possessions through penances or through the practice of yoga. Some undertake severe vows and strictly sacrifice through knowledge by studying the Vedas. Others practice control of the life airs by offering the ingoing breath into the outgoing breath and outgoing breath into the ingoing breath, and thus restrain both. Others offers their life airs by controlling the intake of food. All of them are conversant with the principles of sacrifice. They have purged themselves of impiety by their performance of sacrifice. They are satisfied with the remnants of sacrifice, and thus they attain the eternal absolute truth. O best of the Kuru dynasty, for one that never performs sacrifice, even the pleasures of this world are denied. Then what to say of the next life? In this way, many varieties of sacrifices have been explained in the Vedas. You should understand that all of them are born of action. Knowing this, you shall be liberated. O conqueror of the enemy Arjun, the sacrifice involving knowledge is higher than the sacrifice of material ingredients. All actions culminate in knowledge, O Parth. Just try to understand this knowledge by approaching a self-realized person who has seen the truth. Make submissive inquiry and render services unto him. The Tattvadarshi, the seer of the truth, will instruct you and give you initiation into the sacred path. O son of Pandu, understanding this knowledge, you will never be subject to illusion again. Through this knowledge, you will see the spiritual nature of all living beings and that they are all situated within me. Even if you are most impious, you can come across over the ocean of all vices by boarding the boat of wisdom. As a blazing fire turns wood into ashes, similarly the fire of wisdom renders all karma to cinders. O Arjun, there is nothing as pure as knowledge in this world. In due course, one who is perfect in yoga realizes this. Those imbued with faith and who are devoted to controlling their senses attain this knowledge very swiftly. Thus they attain supreme peace. Those who are deluded without faith and full of doubt are ruined. Such faithless people find no happiness in this world or the next. O Dhananjay, karma cannot bind one who has renounced action through the process of yoga. His doubts are overcome by knowledge, and he has thus realized the nature of the self. Therefore, O Bharat, with the sword of knowledge, slash these doubts of yours that have arisen out of ignorance within your heart. Taking shelter of the process of yoga, stand and fight. Om Tat Sat. Thus ends chapter 4, entitled Gyan Yoga, from the conversation between Sri Krishna and Arjun in the Upanishad known as Shreemad Bhagwad Geeta, the Yoga Shastra of divine knowledge, from the Bhishma Parv of Mahabharata, the literature revealed by Vyas in one of the 100,000 verses. Thank you.